The greatest danger in life can be right by your side.
Women are generally not considered to be killers. It's not the first place the police look.
A loving mother has a sinister secret.
Something had gone on in that house that was very dark and evil.
3 cheers to me.
A serial bride prefers life on the wild side.
When she got tired or bored of something, she moved on to something else dramatically.
And a wealthy housewife chases an impossible dream.
When he said, "I want you out," she heard, "Your life is over."
These deadly women break their marital vows in the most brutal way. They are wed to murder. In St. Louis, Missouri, in 1981, 40-year-old Lloyd Allen is a healthy, happy newlywed.
Very prosperous, very outgoing and friendly individual.
Hi, neighbor. How's married life treating you?
Couldn't be better.
Good to hear. Say hi to Shirley for me.
He was just the kind of guy that never knew a stranger. People remember him with that cigar in his mouth, just smiling and waving to everybody.
Lloyd's new wife, 40-year-old Shirley, gives him an instant family.
Hey, how was your walk?
Good when we could catch him.
You've been a bad boy. Hey?
Good boy. So
Both 17-year-old Norma and 15-year-old Paula are very fond of their new stepdad.
It seemed to be looking like a good marriage in the beginning.
Hey, ready?
And the most treasured part of the new family, their playful dog.
Mom, I wanted to feed him. Well, I beat you to it.
But just when everything is going so well, they lose their best friend.
Okay, come on.
He was fit. He was healthy. There was nothing wrong with him, nothing to indicate what would happen next.
The beloved family pet inexplicably dies.
He took a very remarkable decline in his health.
He went downhill fast.
The family tragedies continue. Lloyd suddenly becomes chronically ill.
In March of 1982, he was laid off from work. He was unable to care for himself.
Okay. Just breathe. Take a breath. No? Yeah, that'd be great.
Lloyd appeared drunk, disoriented. People wondered what was wrong with him. Was he suffering some kind of an illness, or did he have a drug habit or something they didn't even know about?
All right. You okay?
Shirley breaks the news to puzzled neighbors.
It's a brain tumor. It's hopeless.
She told one neighbor Lloyd was dying of a brain tumor.
The illness is crippling Lloyd's body, and he needs constant care.
One of the neighbors actually described him as being zombie-like. He just stared off into the distance.
On November 1st, 1982, Shirley and Lloyd should be celebrating their first wedding anniversary. Instead, there's a funeral.
Lloyd was a relatively young man. He was only 40 years old.
When Lloyd finally died, his death was not considered suspicious because he'd been ill for such a long time.
Until there is a strange phone call.
I have a story to tell you about a murderer.
2 days after Lloyd died, somebody called a news station about his death.
Lloyd Allen.
An anonymous call that Lloyd Allen's death was not natural and that he had most probably been murdered.
Somebody was tipping them off that something had gone on in that house that was very dark and evil.
The tip-off sparks a police inquiry. They start close to home, interviewing the family. Teenage daughter Norma has a lot to say.
Tell me about Lloyd.
He was really nice. I miss him.
Shirley's daughter, I came to realize very early in the investigation, was just a truly brave young girl.
The daughter tells about another death, that of the family dog. She claims her mother poisoned their pet. Shirley Allen is now a person of interest. As police look into her past, they find something alarming.
Another one of Shirley's husbands died in 1978. Shirley was formerly married to a man by the name of Daniel Knoll. A very short marriage.
Hey, honey. What else good in here?
The romance just deteriorated, and they became very bitterly opposed to one another.
Calm down. Hey. How about we have a drink together, huh? Just you and me.
Daniel was perfectly healthy. There was nothing wrong with him. But nearly immediately after their marriage, he started getting sick.
Daniel Knoll's symptoms are remarkably similar to how Lloyd suffers.
It's a virus. It's just a virus. It'll be gone tomorrow.
Daniel became ill only 5 months after they married and appears to have died suddenly of a heart attack. Personally, I doubt that.
While on his deathbed, Daniel does something strange. He changes his life insurance beneficiary from Shirley to his brother.
No, what do you mean I'm not the beneficiary?
Shirley hit the roof when she found out about that.
I'm his wife!
In fact, she even went to court to fight for that money, but Daniel's brother prevailed.
This was all about the money. Shirley was dangerous to any man that shared her bed.
(1982), St. Louis, Missouri. 2 days after the suspicious death of 40-year-old Lloyd Allen. His wife, 40-year-old Shirley, is the chief suspect. New evidence leads police to look for poisons in his body, and they find the answer.
The autopsy revealed that all of his body tissues were completely saturated in ethylene glycol.
The substance in Lloyd's tissues is the cause of death. Poison by ethylene glycol, the main ingredient of antifreeze.
Antifreeze is sort of sweet and doesn't really have an odor. In fact, it's such a dangerous product that people are warned not to leave it around pets or animals because it's so sweet, it's almost inviting.
Police believe Shirley practiced on the family dog.
Shirley was such a cruel person. She would poison a pet to make sure she was giving the right dose.
To avoid suspicion, Shirley wants Lloyd's death to be slow.
She was slipping antifreeze into all of his drinks, his wine, his beer, his coffee. Whatever he was drinking, Shirley was spiking it with the poison.
Shirley knows the dosage is just right. Lloyd is gradually becoming ill.
It's not anything that you would notice. It's a very subtle poison, and its impact is slow.
confused. He would stagger around. He would have more of an effect of being drunk.
When Shirley Allen was serving a meal, death was on the menu.
A few months into Lloyd's illness, Shirley's daughter becomes suspicious of her mom.
Shirley was so cavalier about poisoning Lloyd that she did it in front of her 17-year-old daughter, Norma.
Drink.
But Norma is unsure what to do.
Come on. Drink it up.
Norma watched her mother poison Lloyd and did not go to the police. That was probably because she was afraid of her mother. She knew she was living with a killer.
Drink it. Drink it.
Within months, her stepfather is gravely ill.
At one point, when he was near catatonic,
Maybe this will wake him up.
the mother sprayed bug spray into his face to try to kill him. She was doing everything she could to hasten him to the grave.
On November 1st, 1982, Lloyd is almost there.
After 8 months of chronic poisoning, he's got damage to his kidneys, damage to his heart, damage to his lungs. He has reached the tipping point.
Mom!
Heartbroken, Norma tries to intervene.
Should we call an ambulance?
And Norma said, well, Mom, shouldn't we call 911? Shouldn't we get the rescue squad here? And Shirley said, no, we're fine.
Within hours, he is dead.
It is not uncommon for children who are living with a parent that they know is a killer to remain silent. They usually remain silent until they are in a safe environment and can reveal it. And that's what happened with Norma.
Her daughter's testimony leads to Shirley's arrest before she can spend Lloyd's life insurance.
It was $25,000. It's my opinion she killed Lloyd for the insurance money. She didn't care about him or anyone else.
On July 6th, 1984, Shirley Allen is convicted and sentenced to a minimum of 50 years in prison. She dies of natural causes in 2000.
Shirley was a murderous psychopath, motivated by greed. She died in prison, which is exactly where she needed to be.
Shirley sacrificed her family's happiness for greed, leaving her children no choice but to turn on their own mother.
Shirley's the coldest kind of killer. I mean, when you think about it, it's almost ironic that she used antifreeze because that's how cold she was.
When times are tough, one woman never gives up.
There was something about her that stood out.
A woman who makes the most of what she's got.
She was quite popular.
She uses her charm, her wit, and her .38 revolver.
Alma was so dangerous to men, she should have had a warning label right on her forehead.
In the 1950s, the legends of Elvis, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis begin in Memphis, Tennessee. 100 years ago, the same streets produce a legend of a very different kind. Vance Avenue, Alma Theede. Named after the red light district she worked so well.
She was a prostitute as early as age 16, and she was involved in the grittiest side of Memphis as a result of that.
Dirt poor, but beautiful and oozing charm. Alma uses her best assets to survive.
Her ability to attract men is how she decided she was going to live her life.
We made $1.
And in those days, if a woman wasn't a nurse or a teacher and she needed to make a living, working in a brothel was pretty much the only option left.
Alma's immoral profession supports her mother and sister.
They needed to live, they had to have money. I think her mother could justify her behavior because she was doing it for her family.
Alma seemed to be attracted to the wild side. Alma decided that what she wanted out of life, she wasn't going to find in the traditional way.
By age 17, she marries 30-year-old Charles Halprin Cox.
She met him in one of the gambling houses along Vance Avenue, where he ran a poker table. And by all accounts, it was a very fast courtship. They got married, fought a lot, drank a lot.
Alma's used to playing the field. She doesn't like being tied to one.
You're my wife. Act like it.
And then got divorced less than a year later.
No man tells me what I can do.
For Alma, the grass is always greener, other men more attractive. At 23, she marries again
3 cheers to me.
to 32-year-old railway worker Roy Calvert.
I think that she probably had a very low threshold of boredom and wanted to always be involved in something else, with someone else, doing something else.
But life with Roy is a struggle.
I doubt whether he was a saint. Those early railroad men were a tough crew. It was a rough life.
And Alma doesn't want anyone to control her.
What?
She didn't take any guff off of anybody.
A man expects a meal at least.
I'm no man's slave.
I think that was a combination of her personality and what life as a prostitute did for her.
I can't go on like this, Alma.
No, it can't.
Alma doesn't want to be married to Roy anymore.
I don't think she liked men. She loved them, but she didn't like them.
Life on the streets has taught her how to deal with problems.
Quite frankly, when Alma got tired of somebody, that somebody went away. If they weren't going to go away of their own accord and Alma was through with them, then Alma got rid of them.
Less than a year after the wedding, Roy is dead with a single gunshot. Alma doesn't run from the scene of the crime.
Oh no, help me!
She calls for help and lets her charm do the rest.
She was able to charm the jury into seeing her side of the story, that she was fearful of her life. She accused Roy of drinking a lot. She accused him of hitting her.
She really played the young, pretty Alma angle, the poor victim. And it worked for her very nicely.
How'd it feel to be free, Alma?
Relieved. I just want to thank the jury for recognizing I was defending my life.
Roy's death is deemed justifiable homicide. Alma is free.
She learned right then that a gun could solve problems with a man, and she never unlearned it.
Alma Theede has been working as a prostitute on the streets of Memphis for decades.
For you, my Donna.
And she can still lure the men. Wealthy, respected businessman, 56-year-old Michael McClavey
As beautiful as you.
sweeps her away from the seedy streets to a genteel life.
He wanted to make Alma a lady, pull her from the life of squalor that she had been living in, and set her up in a house and make her respectable.
Michael knows she shot her first husband, but he thinks he can change Alma for the better.
He knew what she was, he knew where she came from, and he just wanted to give her a good life.
You've no need to go out or to work.
The things in life that she hadn't had before, the security, the money, without all the risk of the streets and the brothels.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can just stay at home.
But within months, Michael's protection becomes suffocating.
If Alma had met Michael earlier in life, things might have worked out differently. Alma was used to a hard-scrabble, violent life. And life with Michael, even though he loved her, was boring for her.
Alma spices things up by taking in a boarder, 31-year-old Charles Miller.
He was everything her husband was not. He was young, he was good-looking, he was worldly, he was exciting, he was known to be quite a ladies' man.
Elmer, it's time we went to bed.
I'll be there soon.
A lover right under her husband's nose. Devastated at the loss of Alma's affection, Michael doesn't realize he is about to lose much more than her love.
When she got tired or bored of something, she moved on to something else dramatically.
Michael knows about us.
Alma has no intention of divorcing her husband.
What should we do?
She's thinking of a more permanent arrangement.
Alma's #1 concern was Alma. She was willing to do what she thought she needed to do at the time. Once she got the idea in her head, she did it.
Alma wants a separation by bullet, and her lover, Charles, to do the dirty work. Barely a year into their marriage, Michael McClavey is dead.
He was an innocent victim, and ultimately his wanting to help is what cost him his life.
Alma solved her problems with a .38 revolver, and that was that.
Charles is convicted of murder. Alma's youthful allure is gone. This time, she is convicted of being an accomplice and sentenced to 10 years. But Alma only serves 4.
She was probably a model prisoner, charming, nice. One of these prisoners that gets in jail and everything, well, you know, what's this nice lady doing here? A nice girl like this doing in a place like this?
After her release, Alma does what she does best, selling her body and looking for husbands.
What was she looking for heaven's sakes, in all these marriages? I mean, 6 marriages? That's way beyond the norm.
By the late 1940s, she marries again. Thankfully, it ends in divorce. Until husband number 6, 65-year-old Ed Gill.
Where's the money?
What money?
You know what money I'm talking about. The money you lost.
So what if I did?
You know, I could just kill you.
For a while, it looks like she's met her match.
Not if I kill you first.
Ed likes guns too.
Why don't you just go ahead and try me, Alma?
They did not get along well. Fights, pulling pistols on each other. It was a sick relationship.
I'd just like to see you try.
Alma was simply hardcore.
On the night of January 2nd, 1949, when Ed's back is turned, Alma ends the marriage her way.
She did it like she would peel an egg. It was necessary to peel the egg. It was necessary to kill her husband.
Marry someone, get tired of them, kill them, go on to the next. She wasn't a black widow in the sense that she did it for money. She did it for Alma.
Alma Theede is convicted of murdering Ed Gill and spends 6 years behind bars. When she is released, for once, she lives on her own. For local historian Jody Schmidt, Alma is one of the sweet and sour chapters of Memphis history. When she dies in 1970, her grave is a modest stone, right next to her very first husband.
After all these failed marriages, she ended up dying alone. She had no one around her.
Vance Avenue is now far from the vibrant red light district it was in Alma's day. But its gun-toting streetwalker, Alma Theede, lives on in Memphis folklore.
I just want to thank the jury for recognizing I was defending my life.
Vance Avenue, Alma, was fascinating to a lot of people. Because of those men and because of the way she lived her life, she remains a fascinating character.
Alma apparently saw herself as a victim. Maybe that helps explain why 3 of her husbands are dead.
September 30th, 2011, Jupiter, Florida, in the opulent gated community of Admiral's Cove. A tragedy rocks the morning air. 66-year-old Donna Horwitz discovers her husband's body. A tragic suicide.
He was basically face down and nude, and the shower was still running.
He's a wealthy man with everything to live for. Why kill himself?
It wasn't until we rolled him over that it was more readily apparent.
10 years earlier, in 2001, the Horwitz family live in the lap of luxury. 55-year-old Donna and 28-year-old son Radley enjoy the fruits of Lanny's success.
They're living in a very well-off neighborhood. There's a lot of affluent people who do live there. There's a lot of money that is in there as well, large mansions.
Life looks shiny on the outside. But underneath, it's a roller coaster.
The relationship between Donna and Lanny was that it was a volatile relationship, verbally and emotionally.
See you guys.
Thanks for a great evening. A big success, I'd say.
There was a lot of separation. They had been married and divorced to each other in the past.
Okay, well, we could go to 5 stories. Yeah. Or we can go to 7.
Lanny is a successful property developer. Work comes before anything else, including family.
He traveled all the time and really didn't have much time for family life.
He was not very forthcoming with his love.
While wife Donna enjoys an extravagant lifestyle, she yearns for a love her husband can't deliver. Donna reaches out for affection with someone else.
So, Mrs. Horwitz, how can I help you?
In many ways.
Donna was having an affair with a security guard.
But the tryst doesn't stay secret for very long.
Screwing the hired help? How low can you go?
Lanny was incensed and offended that Donna would have an affair with a security guard.
I was just so lonely.
Furious that she would take up with such a person.
Now you're gonna be even lonelier.
Lanny divorces Donna for the second time. The devastation pushes her to the edge.
Donna Horwitz could not live without her husband Lanny or with him.
Donna had attempted to commit suicide.
Mom, what are you doing?
They found her in the garage with the car running.
To Donna, life without Lanny is not worth living.
They had been together on and off their entire lives since she was 14 and I think he was 15.
Donna was not the kind of woman who could take care of herself very well. She relied on Lanny for emotional support.
A decade later, Donna is in luck. Lanny changes his mind. He wants her after all.
We belong together.
We do.
He invited Donna and her mother back into the home in March and April of 2011.
It's not just company he wants.
Mr. Horwitz, not unlike a lot of people in life, live beyond their means. And as it turns out, I believe there were 4 mortgages on the house at Admiral's Cove.
What about Mom?
She should move in too.
Their reunion comes with strings attached. Lanny needs cash, and Donna's mother has plenty.
I will need her to loan me the $200,000 for the house.
If your mom can give me $200,000 to save the house, that would allow you and your mom to move back in and we could be a family again.
Elated Donna doesn't care about the loan. She's back where she wants to be. But the honeymoon doesn't last long. On Lanny's birthday, Donna organizes a family celebration for him.
Donna was very excited and prepared something very exciting for him.
I've made you a favorite.
I'm going out to dinner.
But Lanny prefers the company of his business partners.
I think Donna began to feel like a second-class citizen in Lanny's life.
It clearly was a message to Donna in her mind that she just got used for the money.
This is our first property here. And
Lanny is still wedded to money and work. And his new business partner adds salt to Donna's wounds.
this is another one.
Lanny had struck up a friendship. She's attractive, she's successful, she's in real estate.
Donna is envious. And after 2 divorces and a suicide attempt, she is close to breaking point.
Donna reached that point, that boiling point, that if I can't have him, no one can.
September 2011, in Jupiter, Florida. The millionaire enclave of Admiral Cove seems the ideal place to live.
I was just so lonely.
But not for 65-year-old Donna Horwitz.
She began to look like she was disappearing, that her hair was very unkempt, and that she was shrinking.
She is miserable in her marriage to 66-year-old Lanny and tells her diary the whole story.
She would refer to him as Mr. Meanie or Lambo as a reference to Rambo. So that's how she saw him as time went on.
Against all odds, Donna keeps hoping for love and attention.
Yeah, hi. Wait. You won't be home till after 9.
Only to be let down.
Lanny was mean. He could be neglectful emotionally. On her birthday, he didn't even come home. She ended up having hot dogs in her kitchen.
For she's a jolly good fellow.
Donna feels more alone than ever and blames Lanny's new business associate.
Certainly in Donna's mind was something more than a casual relationship.
Donna is falling apart, and her possessive nature drives Lanny further away.
It's not working.
How dare you? You're never here.
On the eve of a business trip, he makes his feelings clear. He wants her out of the home by the time he gets back.
When he returned, he expected Donna to be out of that residence.
Furthermore, Donna finds out his business partner is traveling with him.
So you're still going away with her?
He's going on a business trip with a woman Donna believes he's having an affair with.
She's better than you in every way.
When he said, "I want you out," she heard, "Your life is over."
Early the next morning, on September 30th, 2011, Donna has one thing on her mind: revenge.
A culmination of the bad behavior, the mistreatment, the continuing of the relationship with the business associate.
Their son, 38-year-old Radley, is asleep in his bedroom. Donna takes not one, but two .38 caliber handguns.
Donna, I believe, snapped that morning. The first shot went through the glass, striking Lanny. He came out of the shower and was attempting to get to that phone that's on that wall in the bathroom.
But Lanny doesn't get to make a call. Donna empties both guns at point-blank range.
9 out of 10 shots fired entered his body, one of them directly in his abusive, demeaning mouth. She wanted him dead.
What happened? Did he attack you?
He was just so awful. It was just so awful.
Their son calls 911, but no one can save Lanny. Donna claims he committed suicide, that she finds him with a gun in his hand.
It wasn't until we rolled him over that it was more readily apparent the shots that he had sustained. He had 2 shots to the chest.
I can honestly say in this career that I've worked for 16 years almost, I've never had someone shoot themselves more than once in a suicide.
It was just so awful.
All Donna could say over and over was, he was just so awful. He was just so awful. Not, oh, this is awful, someone has killed him. He was so awful. To me, that's a confession.
It was presented by the prosecution that Donna then placed that gun into Lanny's hand after that final shot was fired in order to mislead the investigation.
6 days after Lanny's death, Donna Horwitz is charged with first-degree murder. In January 2013, she is convicted and sentenced to life in prison.
Now you're gonna be even lonelier.
After years of being told what to do, Donna has the last word, but at a terrible price.
She actually lost focus and lost the reality that she had everything. She had a wonderful, loving son. She had a beautiful granddaughter and the means with which to enjoy all of that. And it reminds us that people's emotions can so overcome their reason.
Donna killed for loss of love and jealousy. It's that simple.
These deadly women killed those they vowed to love. Shirley Allen's poisonous brew was driven by greed. Alma Theede dispatched husbands like unwanted trash. And Donna Horwitz let jealousy devastate her family. All these women were dangerous liaisons. They were wed to murder.